Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. My goodness, lately I've talked to so many people in our area that have given me new ideas to pass on to you. And one of them in particular is Aaron Hardy. And Aaron is a code enforcement manager here in Massena. But he also is involved in the outdoors to such an extent. One of the things that he plays a big role in is a Native Fish Coalition. Now, this was started in Maine, but what Aaron does is he goes all over our region and puts signs up where there's brook trout ponds, and these are native fish. The two native fish in New York State, and especially up in our area, are brook trout and lake trout. These were in so many lakes 100 years ago, but they have disappeared in so many because of acid rain, because of climate change. But now, because so much has been cleaned up, a lot of these lakes have potential again. And so here's one of the key things. Aaron puts signs up in all these little ponds around the Adirondacks. In our region alone, in St. Lawrence County, there's 21 ponds that he is putting the signs up that say no live bait. And the reason for this, and this is the most critical thing, is by having this kind of stipulation that the DEC has, you really take away the threat of having invasive species go in there and destroy the ecosystem. And the ecosystem, I talk about it all the time, but it's so fragile when it comes to these species. There's only so much food, so much availability to keep that balance so that they can live in these ponds. And so this is critical. Here's what happens. You go in there and you have a minnow bucket and you got minnows in there. And say some of them live. Either they get off the hook and they live, or you dump the minnows out in the water. Anything can happen. But that can start a whole different species taking over a part of that environment that can ruin the trout fishing. And so this is something I think that is absolutely amazing that Aaron is doing. It started in Maine, where apparently this person who was a guide up there, was really getting discouraged with their DNR going in and stocking so many of these native ponds. And when they put these stocked trout in there, it destroys the balance, and a lot of these native species go extinct. They can't survive. There's just too much stress. And so this is why this is so important. The other thing that I wanted to mention to all of you, because Aaron had brought this to my attention too, he loves this area. And he says, I got so sick of people telling me there was nothing to do in this area that I started my own blog talking and writing about the things to do on the trails in this area. So he is discovered and gone on and written about all the different places in our region that you can go and really get a feeling for the outdoors. He's a great writer. I think you really should look at this. It's called Northern New York Adventures. You can go on Facebook. You can find this, but I think you'll really enjoy reading what Aaron writes. And the whole purpose of this report is to sort of give a face to some of the things that some of the people that live here, that care about this area, are doing to not only preserve it, but to let other people know that this is a fantastic place to live. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.